In 1980, China's economy was smaller than Netherlands. Today, it is the second largest economy on earth, and it is building something the world has never seen before. But this video isn't about what China has already done. It's about what China is doing right now in secret that will make the next 10 years look completely different from anything that came before. Most people will never notice it until it happens. The mineral inside your phone, the battery in your car, the missile system your government depends on you to keep you safe. China controls the supply of all of them. And almost nobody in the West understood that was happening until it was almost too late. In 2025, China pulled the trigger for the first time. Within days, defense contractors in the US, Europe were making emergency calls to their governments. For 80 years, the United States built and maintained the global order.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
A new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
We have benefited for 60 years by leading the way to integrate the world's economies.
I stand before you again tonight, after almost 2 terms as your president, to tell you I am more optimistic about the future of America.
Free trades, military alliances. The dollar was the world's reserve currency. It wasn't perfect, but it was stable. And it kept every rival power contained within the system the US controlled. And then slowly, the US began dismantling the very system it had built in the first place. The tariffs, the retreats from the alliances, the hostility towards institutions it had spent decades building.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
The message being sent to every country on earth was quiet but unmistakable. China doesn't need to defeat the US, it needs countries to stop trusting the US. Every trade deal, every infrastructure investment, every military partnership signed with Beijing is a brick of new global order that is getting placed. One where China sets the rules. So what is the first move? Control the raw materials of the future. Lithium, cobalt, antimony, rare earth elements, they are inside your phone right now. Every electric vehicles, every missile defense system, you cannot run a modern economy without them. And China controls majority of the world's processing capacity of almost all of them. This didn't happen by accident. For decades, China invested in mines across Africa, South America, Central Asia, not to exploit them immediately, but to own the supply chain. While Western companies were thinking about the next quarter's earning, China was thinking about the next 35 years. Now, what is the second move? Own the energy technology of the future. China is the world's largest producer of solar panels by a massive margin. It makes more electric vehicles than the rest of the world combined and put together. Its battery technology is most advanced and affordable at scale. China didn't choose between dirty energy now and clean energy later. It chose both simultaneously at scale. This is the level of strategic discipline that no democracy has ever been able to attain. Now move 3. Win the technology race. In AI, in semiconductor, in 5G, China is either at partly with the US or closing the gap faster than anyone predicted. If China's strategy was always going to play out over 20 or 30 years, artificial intelligence may cut the time limit in half. Here is what is happening right now in factories across developing world. Companies are paying workers to wear camera on their head, recording their hand, tracking every motion so that AI system can learn those jobs and eventually replace those workers. The critical difference is how China and the West are responding. In the US and Europe, AI is politically toxic. there is a genuine public backlash. And in democracy backlash, things slow down.
DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser focused on competing to win.
In China, the government view AI as a national priority, no different from building a dam or a railway.
President Xi also stressed upon the importance of speeding up the development of artificial intelligence in the country. He said AI was an important driving force in the country's new round of technological and industrial development.
It doesn't need public approval. It deploys at scale, faster and immediately. In early 2026, a major US AI lab developed a model so powerful it could not be safely released because it could find exploitable vulnerability in almost any software system on Earth. Banks, power grids, water systems, military infrastructure. This is the world we are entering, where AI is not just an economic tool, but a geopolitical weapon, and the country that masters it first holds leverage over everybody else. So is this inevitable? Is China's rise to supreme stature simply a matter of ticking clock or waiting time? Not necessarily. The US holds relative advantage. The dollar remains the world's reserve currency. It is the most powerful military on earth. It still attracts more global talent than any other country. These are all not small things, but they are advantages that erode if there is no active maintenance. And right now, it has not been actively maintained. China does not need war to win. It does not need a dramatic moment. It needs time, consistency, and for its rivals to keep making short-term decisions while it makes long-term decisions. This is what has been happening. The only question that actually matters is whether it continues. The future isn't decided, but it has been decided. The window to influence is narrower than most people ever realize.